I have Jordan here from marketing, and you're with Rise 8.
Yes.
And we showed up on Tuesday. And on Tuesday night, before we even got hands-on, before we signed into Coder for the first time, you vibe coded yourself an app.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
So my wife and I have a big problem where we don't know our schedule, and we have 3 kids running around, lots of activities. Sometimes we're at the hockey arena 14 times a week, but in summertime it gets really complicated, and we often don't look at our schedule until Saturday morning. And we realize, oh, we could have invited friends over. We had some free time today, which free time is rare. So all I did was simply like a vibe coded app for myself and my wife every Monday, push a notification. Here's your schedule for the week based on your kids' activities. Here's the nights that you should probably look at eating out or ordering in because you're not going to be home in time to make dinner. It's connected to the weather, so then looking ahead to the weekend, it'll say you have blocks of time on the weekend. You should probably set up a pool day, invite some families and friends over, maybe sneak out for a round of golf in the morning if you don't have anything planned until noon, depending on weather, obviously. So it's really just a proactive calendar optimization. Reach out to friends early instead of getting to Saturday for us and be like, oh, we have free time. It's now too late to coordinate anything on our behalf.
I have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Give me just a second here. So it's more than just a calendar, obviously, because it's making recommendations.
Yes.
So it's almost a personal assistant of here's how you should be spending your time, here's how you should fill your time. And you give it your personality. So when you push this out, is everybody going to be able to put their personality in there?
So that's where the pool day comes in, the golf rounds come in, sneaking out for a round of 9 holes for the boys on Saturday or Sunday evenings if we don't have anything in the evening, or myself sneaking out for a round of golf at like 7 in the morning, Saturday or Sunday morning, and then looking at like the pool day. If it's going to be like 25 degrees, I should use 80 degrees. I'm Canadian. So it's going to be 80 degrees. Hey, plan a pool day this weekend. So yeah, it's just like preferences of what we like to do. It also recommends activities like, hey, this is a great time to have a family activity. Take the kids to the museum, take them to the butterfly conservatory, get out and do something as a family within this.
Okay, so I also enjoy golfing, but I am awful at golfing. Does it know that? Will it tell me that I need to have 5 hours available for
We can program that in. So
I think that needs to go in.
I need 6 hours instead of 4. It's fine.
For sure. All right, so you've never coded before. You've never built an app.
No.
And this was obviously a pain point for you. So much like we're talking about here at ShipSummit, is we're trying to fix outcomes, create impact. And this clearly does that for you and so many other people.
Yeah.
And just something that we're all missing. But so how did you know how to get started after just the sessions from day one without ever touching the code that we did on day 2?
There was a great session on day 1 with David Bland. And just before that, we had a workshop with Gene Kim. And so David Bland had basically a prompt analyzer. It was like, tell me what your prompt is, and I'll basically rip it apart. Right. And so I went into the prompt analyzer and it kind of ripped it apart and said, here's how you would kind of go about it. And so I just started then interacting with Claude and said, here's my vision, here's what I want to do. Can you walk me through a step-by-step plan? And it gave me a step-by-step plan, all the security requirements, all the API calls, and literally things that I've never gone into before: Node.js, terminal, Google Cloud Console, and setting up authorizations. And so it just walked me through the steps. After those 2 kind of sessions got me really a lot more comfortable with okay, you can do this on your own. And it took 20 minutes to get to MVP 1, and then about 30 minutes tinkering with the security settings to kind of get it rolling. And then after that, I spent another 30 to 45 minutes on MVP 2 and MVP 3, just adding additional features to it.
So yesterday, we actually did get hands-on with the project here. You did amazing work on Monday or on Tuesday without having touched the code from these tracks. Did you go back and start working on this again last night? What did you learn yesterday that you can apply that you hadn't thought of yet?
How I would probably do a lot quicker. But I have not improved it beyond last night because vibe coding for 5 straight hours yesterday, and obviously doing the coding the night before for my personal app was kind of wiped. So I had a nice team dinner last night, and I'll revisit my app on the way home today.
Amazing. Okay, one last question for you then. Because we did get 5 hours of hands-on coding yesterday and you weren't ready to go work on your passion project anymore. The rise of vibe coding, as we heard a lot about here, is actually putting a lot more pressure on making those really important decisions when we're coding. So instead of just idea to starting to solve pieces of the puzzle, we go from idea to product really quickly. And so it's really hard to manage the complexity in your head that you're dealing with day in and day out. So how do you think that's going to change for those of us that haven't been in code that start vibe coding? Do you think that we're going to start feeling that immediately, or do you think that it's just going to be a fun passion project for a while?
Tough to say. I do feel like right now things are moving so fast that there's this overarching, you mentioned pressure or anxiety on everybody to kind of like do something. And I think I think everyone's going to kind of react differently to it. I think there's immediate opportunity to just build something because everyone can now build. I think the challenge really becomes like, what do I build first? Where do I focus? What's important to me and prioritizing? I think that the only way you deal with kind of that anxiety or fear of being left behind is to just start with a basic calendar app for your family, and whatever the most important problem or the biggest pain point for you is, just try to see if you can solve it with AI and learn along the way, and then that'll kind of the next path will reveal itself, and then from there you kind of prioritize and deconflict, and you're off and running.
I think that's great advice. Well, thank you so much for taking some time to talk to me today.
Excellent.
I think that this is exactly what ShipSummit is about, right?
It's been a ton of fun. It's been amazing, actually.
Good.